I would like to invite you, Madam Ambassador, to open the session tonight. I know you prepared something. You want to take the microphone? If you want to sit or stay, or what is best for you?
Thank you very much. I will try to do both things with my right and my left hand. Your Excellency Jose Francisco Calizay, Ambassador of the Republic of Guatemala here in Germany, Honorable Jan von Enden, Executive Manager of the Neumann Stiftung, Honorable Karina, Honorable Christopher, distinguished representatives of the coffee community from Honduras and Uganda, distinguished representatives of agencies, foundations, and associations, dear friends. I am really glad to be here today with all of you, celebrating the Environment Day with so many people committed to build a better world for us and our children. This is a wonderful opportunity to speak a little bit about my country, my beloved country, Honduras. I am honored. I arrived to Germany almost a year ago, and one of my biggest challenges during my work here is to let you know much more about us in a positive way. Although we have a wonderful country, we need to work much more in delivering more and better opportunities to our people. It is a process, it might take time, but we are working on trying to be better for the benefit of Honduran people. They deserve it, and we are committed to them. Our coffee. One of the best coffees in the world is Café Aus Honduras. Here in Germany, we have so many, and we need to let you know this, that probably the coffee you drink every day comes from Honduras. I invite you to go to Honduras and discover as tourists the coffee roads, visiting the producers and tasting it in farms where it's grown. And I'm probably pretty sure that Karina will speak much more about this. Now, I want to go a little bit further on to explain you what our situation is in Honduras regarding coffee. In the value chain, the producer receives less than 1% of the sale price of a cup of coffee, this being a great injustice for our farmers. Why does not the producer receive a fair price? To discover the answer, we have to first identify where the coffee comes from. Since the grain is harvested until the grain reaches the coffee cup, it passes through hundreds of hands that clean it, toast it, grind it, pack it, transport it, and get to store where we consume it as buyers. If the producer receives only 1% of the chain, where does the rest remain? Sadly, we don't know. Therefore, to start a fair chain, we need first to record the values of purchase and sale in each step of the production, processing, and marketing process of the coffee chain. Once we discover the distribution of value in the coffee chain, we can then regulate a fair chain where there is transparency, equity, and where the protection of the rights of coffee farmers and workers is guaranteed. In addition to a market crisis in the price of coffee, we must add something more: the fact that our producers are being severely impacted by the effects of climate change. Our country has stopped receiving $200 million due to losses due to drought events only in 2018. Climate change generates crises in our planet, our home. It produces destruction, human and economic losses affecting development and threatening food security. According to the Global Climate Risk Index from Human Watch, from 1997 to 2016, Honduras was listed as the country most affected by climate change. In recent years, more than 4 million Hondurans were affected by natural disasters, increasing the frequency and magnitude of extreme events perceived in our country. And every time we have less time and less resources to respond to these threats. We are already experiencing longer droughts during El Niño and La Niña periods, facing more frequent floods, tropical storms, and hurricanes. As a result of this, in Honduras from 1986 to 2015, $4,500 million have been lost, impacting homes, businesses, and infrastructure, limiting the development of our country and food security. We believe that in our forests, in our territory, we have our better adaptation system to the impact we face. We are convinced that with the involvement and active participation of all sectors, especially civil society, indigenous peoples, public and private sector, we will achieve our objectives. We are doing our part, but the commitment belongs to everyone. This is the moment, and we must act now. And as the former UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon said, we don't have Plan B because there is no Planet B. We must continue our learning experience in how countries as Germany are facing these problems, and we value your contributions to this. We appreciate this space today to share the successful stories of amazing people that are bringing home to our country. The greatest investment of our country must be into our people, our children, our youth, our women. They are our future. And the most important, I want to let you know that our biggest treasure is our people. We are happy and laborious people, and we are proud of our land. Thank you very much, and let's hope that you enjoy the evening. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. I feel a bit uncomfortable. Can we refurbish a bit? Can we close the gap between these two sofas? Move these a bit, and then some of you come a bit closer, so we see each other. Is it okay? We start at Energizer after 10 minutes. Yeah? Can we do that? If we just someone takes these chairs here in the front. Let's Christopher, you move your sofa here. We will watch some videos. This feels better, huh? Please take these chairs. Someone moves a bit closer, takes these chairs also there. Good. Okay. There are 3 chairs available. One. Who else would like to come a bit closer? Okay. So we will watch some videos, so you have to look them again. I'm sorry, but it's always just brief. Okay. Thank you very much. This was very good. So now we'll come to you. I will come next to you. Better. So, talking about youth, you already introduced Jan to us. Jan is a member of our executive management from HRNS, and I would like to invite him to introduce briefly what HRNS is doing in terms of youth and young farmers in coffee growing regions.
Thank you. So I stay seated now. Excellencies, dear coffee lovers, dear friends, I'm super excited that we have so many people here tonight. We started only thinking about hosting a small event just 2 weeks ago, and we are thinking maybe there are coming 10, 15 people, and we have a small discussion here, but I'm totally overwhelmed that so many people came, so thank you for coming. I really don't want to talk too much because our main guests here and the interesting discussions we want to have are with Karina and with Christopher. Just a very few words. For us as a foundation, the Neumann Foundation, climate change and youth are the key topics we work on. We see that, first of all, there's so much energy and so much potential in young people, so we focus all our efforts to support young farmers. We're working in rural communities, we're working with coffee, but also beyond coffee, because we also know that just from coffee, to make a living just from coffee is very difficult. So we're really looking at rural communities in a wider sense. And we also see the creativity of young people. The creativity helps them to overcome the big challenges like climate change. We have several initiatives, and Karina is also part of these activities, where we work specifically on adaptation to climate change in coffee. So we are very, very happy to have you all here, and are looking forward to a very vivid discussion. And I would also like to point out that two of our subject matter experts from the foundations are here, Stine for climate and Janka for youth. We should also actually come a bit closer here. So,
yeah, we are just waiting for the last people to arrive and then we will come.
Yeah, so for any further questions even after the event, these are our two experts, and of course you're more than welcome to approach either Jesko or me if you want to know more about what we are doing explicitly in Uganda and Honduras. But I think I've said already too much anyway, so I hand over back to Jesko to open up the discussion.
Thank you very much, Jan. One more person who is a tough rider is with us today as well. It's Max, our technical director from Brazil, who's now on the road for 13 hours, but said I will come anyway. So even if you're interested, we also have other friends from Brazil here. So even if you have questions there, we're open. Yes, thank you very much. So I would like to come now finally to Christopher and Karina. And I was thinking I would like to ask you some questions which are the same, so maybe we get a different perspective from two continents. So we said your name very often, but maybe you can introduce yourself a bit closer, tell us where you're exactly coming from, what your connection to coffee and maybe to HRNS is, and yeah, interesting facts about you as a young coffee farmer in Honduras. What are you growing? How big is your farm? How many people are working there, and so on?
Good evening, everybody. I am Karina from Honduras. I am representing every farmer from my country. I am really happy to be here. Like I said, I am a young farmer trying to be better in this business, you know. I am from the third generation. I started with my grandfather, and then my grandfather teach my father and everybody from my family to be in this business, in the coffee business. And now I am a young woman trying to be better in this business. I have a farmer. A farmer is about 2 acres. Still not too much, like I would say, but I want to have more. We have like 3 and 5 people working for us. But also my family is a coffee farmer too. They are coffee farmers. We still like a family coffee farm because we are together trying to get new things for the family, for the community.
Okay, thank you. Christopher, how does it look like in Uganda?
Dear brother and sister, I'm very happy to be with you today. I'm Christopher Mujabi from Africa, from East Africa, from Uganda, from Nigeria district, from my sub-county. I'm working with my co-farmers cooperative. I am the chairperson of my co-farmers cooperative. I'm a coffee farmer. I have 12 acres of land, but I have 7 acres of coffee. I grow coffee, I grow mango, I grow maize, I eat up beans, banana, that's my topic, with coffee. So that I can be able to get money in other ways if I'm not harvesting coffee. So I'm very happy to be with you, to share with you. I have 3 children and I have a wife. I'm happy that I'm in Uganda. I am a coffee farmer. I grow coffee. I assist my farmers to band together coffee so that they can get a better price. the more we are together, the more we can be stronger. Thank you very much.
So, for the geographical specifications, Kampala is the capital of Uganda. Mityana district is about 1.5 hours drive from the outskirts from Kampala, which of course means that young people are more tempted to move to the capital city when they don't see a perspective in the countryside. So, how is the young generation in your district viewing coffee as a future option, or farming and agricultural activities as a future option?
Thank you very much. We have very methodology that we are using so that we can make our young generation, our young people to remain village. We have the FFS methodology, that's Farmer Field School, whereby we go together as youth, we study about good agronomic practices. Because FFS involves hands-on training. Because if you get a flip chart and you start writing, somebody may think he has understood, but yet he has not understood. So when you go to the field and you start explaining what you are doing, everybody can understand what you are talking about and what you are doing. That first methodology is very important, because that applies all good agronomic practices. If you are talking about climate change, you must do it practical. How can you overcome environmental changes, climate changes? If you are talking about quality of coffee, how can you achieve quality of coffee? If you are talking about post-harvesting handling, how can you handle post-harvesting handling? Hands-on training. Then from there, we have another methodology of selling. Because if you teach a youth good agronomic activities and he starts earning money without teaching him more how to use the money properly, you will find day and night they are fighting. After getting the money, somebody has been his own wife, he married another one. The family breaks up. What you have been doing ends up there. So it's very, very good thing that you teach them how to save. How to use money properly is a very, very important thing, because you have to earn, save, invest, and then spend. But at first you used to spend, then last you think about invest or save. Then another methodology that we are using is gender. Gender is very, very important. It's a key component. If you have money, if you are working together, at the end of the day you harvest, a man just leaves man alone. You will find that rainfall will come, coffee, you are drying coffee, you are not around, rain will just take away your coffee. Because a woman thinks, or children think that money, coffee belongs to us. It does not belong to us. So if we work together, we do joint planning, we can live together, we can work together, we can move together, we can see the future. So we discourage you to go to urban like Kampala. Because now I'm happy that many people are moving from Uganda, municipality. Early in the morning, old people, old men, old women, young men, moving down to the ground to work. Because farmers now have money. Those are growing coffee, those are growing matoke, those are growing tomato. People go there to pick coffee, others pick tomato, others working banana samba. So you find that things are now changing, are turning. Because if in a rural area, you have food, you have house, you can get a source, at the end of the day, you get money. But when you're in your urban centers, you have to pay for food, you have to pay rent, you have to buy each and everything, even water. So you find that at the end of the day, you can't sell. You have to spend all the money that you can and get that day. So it's very, very important. We do that by encouraging our people to show them that in village, really you can survive and you can become big. That's how we do things.
Okay, thank you. I would like to invite you to a short trip to Honduras quickly, but I want to ask you before, Karina, what the Kampala for Mujabi is. It's maybe the US for Honduras. The distance might be a bit longer, but you have a big issue with migration. So how do the young people in your region see coffee as a possibility, or how do they see the coffee industry? Is it a perspective for them?
We, like the young people, we see the coffee still saying the good things. Coffee is good. We can be in this business, but we have to make new things. We can start learning new things, maybe agronomic practice new, how we can grow coffee in a better way. No conventional coffee like we know right now, or probably people is now doing something new. Another thing that we are doing over there is trying to make people to be part of the coffee companies or the coffee organizations, young people. Because everybody from the family is part of the coffee organizations. And we had to work together over there. And we are working really close in the fields. Because we need to learn from the fields, the new practice, the new agronomic things. And we want, a very good gender equal. Women and men, we are the same. Just the sex that the women have difference, but we are the same persons, and we can work together to see the future of the coffee at the young persons.
Okay, thank you very much. I heard some really important things. I think what both of you said is like giving a perspective, knowing how to plan, but also involving young people, and the question of generations, transition, gender, and so on. So we will visit together Vilma now. Vilma is living in Honduras as well, and so that we get also a view of what young people can find as a perspective.
Tenía 19 años cuando me hicieron la invitación, se reunía el grupo de jóvenes en fraternidad. El objetivo de ese proyecto pues es eso, más que todo cumplir los sueños de algunos jóvenes, despertar el interés en nosotros en lo que es el café. A mí me interesó desde el principio bastante lo que era catación de café. Estaba graduada, desempleada, siempre nuestro sueño es, ¿verdad?, que al nomás graduarnos empezar a trabajar, pero en el caso allá es un poco complicado con el trabajo. Empecé a recibir lo que era el diplomado, siempre en cualquier reunión que ellos me invitaban, yo asistía. El proyecto viene a eso, a abrirnos la mente, a que nosotros los jóvenes descubramos qué es lo que nosotros queremos ser. Ya empecé a conocer sobre lo que era el café, varias cosas que no las conocía, que venía desde pequeña teniendo relación con lo que era el café, pero en realidad había muchas cosas que desconocía. Y a través de eso, pues, me surgió una oportunidad de empleo. Ya cuando vieron en mí el interés por seguir aprendiendo, la motivación que tenía, ya querían contratar una joven en el proyecto, pero la joven iba a estar pagada por la municipalidad de fraternidad. Han sido muchas las diferencias que han habido en mí. Por ejemplo, antes tenía bastante temor a hablar en público. Hoy pues lo puedo hacer sin ningún temor, sin nervios. Ya me ven desde otro punto de vista ya en lo que es mi comunidad. Creo que uno de mis mayores desafíos tal vez fue el ser mujer, el ser demasiado joven, porque a veces nos enfrentamos en eso, más que todo en nuestras comunidades, que a veces lo que es el trabajo del café se enfoca bastante en decir que es un trabajo solo para hombres. Cabe ahí demostrar que las mujeres podemos, que es un trabajo que también las mujeres podemos hacerlo. Con respecto a las personas mayores, es un poquito difícil convencerlos, porque ellos siempre traen su manera tradicional. Empecé por mi papá. Llegaba con ese entusiasmo, contándole lo que aprendía. En mi comunidad ha sido muy bonito ver cómo los jóvenes se han interesado, ver cómo eran algunos jóvenes antes y cómo son hoy, después de haber pasado esta formación en el proyecto. Hay jóvenes que ya están sacando ya carreras completas en lo que es catación. Es muy importante que nos involucremos en lo que es las asociaciones de café, las organizaciones de café, porque tenemos tal vez esa creatividad que a veces tal vez les hace falta a las personas mayores y eso mismo nos garantiza a que no se pierda esa producción de café. Si me presenta cualquier obstáculo en el futuro, en el camino, sí voy a poder superarlo. Mi nombre es Vilma Villeda, soy del municipio de Fraternidad Ocotepeque, Honduras. Trabajo para la Municipalidad de Fraternidad, soy representante de la Oficina de la Juventud y tengo 21 años.
Yes, thank you. So, Vilma, let's call Vilma the role model. Is she the perfect young coffee farmer from Honduras, and is she in this role the standing totally alone, or is this a tendency you can see that the perspective for young people is already coming up like this?
I know Vilma. We are working together over there, and I think she is one of the persons who are doing something really better for all people over there, for our farmers. She is one of the young generation on the coffee. She really loves coffee, and we want together to do more for our people.
Okay, I would like, Mr. Ambassador, if I may take a walk to visit you. If what you heard now from Honduras and saw from Vilma, do you think it would be like this also in Guatemala, or is the situation different?
Well, good evening to everybody, and thank you very much for the opportunity to speak in this event. I was not officially being a speaker, but I was invited to say some words. So I think that what I hear on the experience of Uganda, I think that that is something that is taking place also in Guatemala, and of course Honduras, that we are neighbors. There is something that is taking place in our region. And but there is a risk in the region, and is that still I believe that we, as we can say, older people, we are not trusting enough the youth generation in this moment. And because I think because we are coming from experience that we had our own experience. But the thing is that the youth generation of youth are showing us that there is an opportunity to change that situation that we experienced when we were youth also. And the other thing is that as I am seeing in Guatemala, even though I am an ambassador here, I always have contact with Guatemala most of the time. And even myself, I am growing coffee also. I think that what is happening is that the people, youth people, but all the coffee growers are facing three challenges. International price. There is not, as my point of view, is that there is not just a price for the coffee, especially for growers in the plantations. Of course, here in Germany, of course, there is a very expensive coffee you can find here. Second thing is that there is not enough official policies to help coffee growers, and especially if they are youth growers. And the third thing is that there is for example, in Guatemala, the last 3-4 years, the coffee growers suffer roya. The roya plague that infected almost all Guatemalan territory. So now they are trying to bring again back that coffee, and that is very hard to bring back the production of coffee. And as ambassador from Honduras was saying, inherent production, one of the problems is that the price that is very different, the price that you have here and the price of the growers. But the other thing is that also there is the European Union doesn't allow coffee growers to bring a finished product to you. So we have to sell our coffee in grain. They are not allowing us to bring grain coffee here. So that is another thing that we are facing, and that is why all the added price is getting, as she said, we don't know to where it's going that price. So the problem is, if you are youth, you are going to face all these issues in Guatemala.
Okay, thank you very much. As I'm saying, are there any questions or comments? So now, coffee is one part of young people's life, huh? And when we talk about youth and coffee, we always think they're drinking coffee all day, and that's all. But young people also have different expectations. And I would like also to travel with you to Uganda, to Mityana, where Christopher is coming from. But before we do that, I would like to ask you, in the video with Wilma, we saw a very close involvement of young people in coffee, not only in growing, but also as a product for drinking. Is that something that, I know that in East Africa, many coffee farmers don't even know that it's a drink they can make from what they grow. So is that an opportunity to talk about to include young coffee farmers in Uganda more into the whole processing, roasting sector?
Thank you very much. It's very important if a youth can get involved in our system, but it's not very easy because it requires a lot of money, it requires a lot of knowledge. If we are still encouraging them to grow coffee, to teach them good agronomic practice, I think we shall move step by step so that we can reach that stage. But as per now, we are encouraging them to grow coffee, to get money, to earn a living. Then we shall grow slowly by slowly until we shall reach that stage. But as for now, if you are trying to build them up, it's very difficult to talk about how they can get it. But there are other things that you are doing in the coffee sector. We encourage them to get opportunity. Those who have land and those who doesn't have land, they can get involved in coffee. Those who doesn't have land, they can do pruning, discovering, planting, and other activities, and they earn a living. They change their life. Then, at the stage when we reach a stage where we can be able to process, to do whatever, then we will be able to do that, I think.
Okay, thank you very much. So, I'm sorry if I make you homesick with all these videos. Coffee is an element of life, but you have so many issues like health, school, gender, road systems. So we will show a short video from Mityana to also give the audience a chance to understand how it actually looks like there, and give youth also outside the coffee sector and the farms, a voice what their interests are.
My name is Gordon Chabagu. I work with Action for Health Uganda as a youth champion. Mityana is a district. It's located in the central region. Its boundaries with the Mubende district and Kampala. A number of youth have decided to migrate from the rural area to urban centers, simply looking for better quality education, looking for better health facilitation and jobs.
My name is Sewime Moses Jeyune. I'm 27 years old. I am a youth facilitator in Farmerfield School, obusobozi obuliwo nti bagezaako okukola n'olwokuba nti olumu bakola nga bakola balakinga skills ne knowledge olaba nga tebivaayo bulungi naye nga balwana.
I'm by the names of Nagawa Eve. I'm 15 years old. Let us talk about the problems girls you face during menstruation. It leads to school dropout because we lack water for cleaning ourselves. We lack rooms for changing. We lack enough sanitary pads at school.
Manya gange nze Kimbwe Patrick nina emyaka 27 ndi mulimi wa mmwanyi mu Mityana district. Ennimiro yange yandibadde mpa amakungula amalungi naye ekizibu kye nnina ekizibu ky'obuwuka ekizibu ky'amazzi ekizibu ky'okusalira kirala likodi z'ennimiro yange nazo zinkyansumbuwa zikuuma n'ebigimusa ebituufu wembigula sirinaawo simanyiwo.
My name is Nampa Juliet. My child is Nanyunja Julian. She's 9 months old. I am 20 years old. Many children and many young women and girls are living in different areas without knowing their own rights, and they shall also get to know their rights, and they will start to sensitize other children or other young women to fight for their own rights.
Zigava wala ate ekiraga jambola ate makyafu ekirala okuteekako amazzi agamala olunaku kyetagisa essaawa 3 kubanga osobola okukozesa kumala.
Nze kyendowooza era ekisingo ekiriwo kati nti bwe tuba tufunye emisomo
kulaakulanya Mityana abavubuka abasinga nga nange sejjeeko.
Our region
is our home and we want to shape its future.
We are Mityana.
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 So you want to travel home now immediately?
Yeah, those are our people. I know most of them, where they are, and some of them are working together with them. So they have been trying to explain different challenges that they are facing, or we are facing in China. Simply climate change, pests and diseases. Somebody is not like you will not increase because pests attacking you. We have black coffee drinking water that affects our coffee. It reduces the yield. And then others are talking about menstruation period, whereby when we find a parent is very poor, he or she cannot afford to buy sanitary pads for a kid. So you find young girl children drop out of school like that. And then others are talking about water as a problem. We fetch water. Some people fetch water very far. You imagine children from school reach at home, it goes down, collect water. That's the problem. So they are talking about different problems that challenge them to develop.
But now, well, you came here and you expected to discuss coffee and how to prune and oya and all of that. And now I show you a movie about sanitary pads, about water, about women's rights. Karina, are we falling short if we talk too much about good agricultural practices and not about all the other things that are surrounding? Well, we say gender because you have to say it. And then we said it, and then we go back to Oya. But how is it in your region? Do we need to talk more about the general topics? And by the way, you said it looks completely different. So first that question, what do you mean it looks completely different?
It's different because we have different situations, we grow different ways. Maybe we are more lucky because right now we cannot say, oh, we are lost in water. We are, but not that way they are. But I think coffee and all that kind of things have to be together. Why? Because coffee, to be in that industry, is not just coffee, it's family, it's community. It's the same things working together to improve the life. Because if I can use agronomic things in my coffee fields, that's good. But what happened with my family? What happened with my community? Have to be together to be better.
I would like to ask Jan from the. I'm sorry, I'm challenging you now, but if you look at different aspects, because with our youth programs we also look not only at coffee sometimes, but what is the experience that you made in the field work about combining also other aspects of daily life, like business skills, like also basic things like water management? How important is it for the young people, or is it just about more coffee, more yield, more income?
I think Karina already said that pretty well. It needs to come together, and it's not only about coffee. Coffee is just a small part, and I'm pretty sure that also in terms of generating income, just coffee is not enough. I think you need not only diversified crops, but you also need diversified income. And then, again, also like Karina said, strengthening the entire community is important. Infrastructure, that's important. But I think it's also so nice to see, when you look back at Vilma, that young people are now very strong opinion. They're pushing for things. They're working in the local communities and engaging themselves. So this is what always motivates me so much to work for us as a foundation, that they're really young people who want to change, and it's kind of very fertile soil, if you want to say it that way. But it's very rewarding for both parts, I think, to work with this young people. Because there's energy, there is willingness to change, there is optimism, there is so much love for the community, for the land, also like Karina described, her parents, her grandparents, and so on. People don't want to migrate. And if they can, and if we can help them to stay, not only by coffee, but by looking at communities in a holistic way, I think that's really what we have to do. And this is where we create these larger partnerships, like you saw in the program in Uganda. You know, they're different partners now. We are the World Agricultural Park, they are the Siemens Foundation, working on different issues. So I think bringing more together these kind of partnerships is really something very important.
Christopher, you get a lot of support from the coffee industry. Not only you, but the region or East Africa. There's so many projects, programs, organizations, companies, sustainability programs. Do you have the feeling that they are focusing too much on coffee? And do you think they should focus more on other things? Or do you think it's, what is your expectation there?
Thank you very much. I don't think that there is too much focus on coffee. But because we have beans a lot of problems. Much as we tap on this and do this, somebody may think that you have not addressed this one well. But I think other things can also be done, and we shall change. Because if you empower the society, the strong nation. Because if now young people can come out and address their problem, talk about their problem within the public, it means those who are supposed to do that, they have here. They can now take steps. Even parents, sometimes you find that you are at home, you are a man. If you don't think that a girl needs a pad, you neglect that. Now, if young girls can come up and say, I want this, I think it's also very, very important. It's a step ahead. I think if you teach people, you sensitize people about agriculture, you sensitize them how to use money, I think a mother and father can sit on a round table and use that money properly. Then let us buy sanitary pad, let us use this money on this side, let us use money on this item, so that people can move. I think it's the best way. If we sit together, gender is very, very important as a part of these things we are talking about is concerned. Much as we train people about good economic practices, how influence when there are no gender issues discussed together, nothing can go ahead. I think very, very important to comment.
Thank you very much. What's the role of the coffee industry? So everything what comes after your farming or after your cooperative, the exporter, the roaster, the traders. So what is their role towards you as coffee farmer? What do you think? What is your opinion?
My opinion, okay, is this world of coffee is big, but we are the first in this business. The farmers are the first person who are, trying to put that cup of coffee on the table for the customers. But in the same way, like the farmers, we have to do new things, just not to grow and grow a lot of coffee. Right now, it's not like that. Right now, one point is really important is quality. Quality. If we have quality, we're gonna be better. We're gonna make more money, probably. But if we start, growing coffee, picking coffee, like in the way that maybe my grandfather do many, many years ago, and this time, don't gonna be work. We have to do new things. And another point is we have to see our coffee fields or coffee farm like a company. We have to be together, sit down with our families and say, okay, this is the money that we got from the production. We're gonna make, like a agenda or something. We wanna spend this amount of money, maybe fertilizer or something that we need from the fields. This is gonna be for the family, for the rest of the year, or probably for study, medicine, whatever. We have to be sit down and do that kind of things. Because most of the farmers, we don't do like that. And we don't know if we are losing, probably. Yeah, we don't know. That's one point. Because we talk about projects and all the things. I know projects are different. Because, projects have different ways to work, you want goals and whatever. But some projects are directly to production. But other ones maybe not. But we have to mix right now. We have to mix that, okay, the production is better to work, but we have to work with the family too. And like the Neumann Foundation are doing, we are trying to do that. With the project, we try to be more involved with the family. Because it's time to do new things right now.
Okay, thank you. So you're talking about project work, about quality, about corporate responsibility. Also, we fly one more time with you to Honduras and see how this can maybe be solved also in the face of climate change, which is for both of the countries a big challenge. And in this short clip, we maybe find also, we chose this one because it also shows maybe an engagement of industry leaders, although we are still in the specialty industry. That can be a solution. So I would like to know also your opinion on that afterwards. What do you think of this kind of cooperation? It could be a help for both of you.
Mi nombre es Aida Isabel Escolán Rodesno, tengo 8 años de ser caficultora. Yo soy de la ciudad, de Tegucigalpa, y por esas cosas de la vida me tuve que venir a la zona rural para seguir con el patrimonio de mis abuelitos. No sabía nada de campo. Empezó todo un proceso de capacitación y sí, al principio fue difícil. El cambio climático ha sido muy drástico. Los efectos se van viendo de una manera agresiva. Es un estrés para la planta. Luego, las plagas y las enfermedades que antes no se daban a estas alturas, ahora sí se nos están dando. Se afecta la calidad del café y de repente las cantidades que uno podría vender con calidad ya no son las mismas, y entonces esto le viene a afectar económicamente. Los cafetales han sido por generaciones más manejados por hombres. Hace poco yo pienso, hay muchas instituciones que están apoyando, ¿verdad?, la integración de la mujer y la superación, que salgan adelante, que no nos quedemos en ese escalón de abajo, sino que subamos, ¿verdad?, porque las mujeres tenemos toda la capacidad.
Mi nombre es Kevin Haroldo Leverón. A los 13 años planté mis primeras plantas de café, porque mi familia es productora de café. Cuando planté las primeras, el café se daba sin mucho trabajo. Luego viene pues, la crisis de la roya, debido al cambio climático. Las primeras parcelas empiezan a perder, hay que volver a plantar las plantas porque se pierden. Esto pues ha afectado mucho, ¿verdad?, porque han incrementado plagas, enfermedades. Los recursos económicos se vuelven más bajos porque hay que trabajar más. Y viene a evitar, ¿verdad?, de que surjan muchas cosas más, ¿verdad?, por ejemplo, como seguir estudiando en algunas familias. En el caso de la mía, ¿verdad?, ya se limitan otras cosas y toca trabajar más duro, ¿verdad?, para seguir produciendo café. Ya no es igual como antes, entonces toca que hacer un esfuerzo más. Esto pues controla, ¿verdad?, haciendo nuevas prácticas.
My name is Emily Carabello, and my husband and I started Carabello Coffee in Newport, Kentucky. During my visit here, as well as honestly a lot of countries surrounding this area, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, I have seen that the farmers are dealing with the fact that the flowers are blooming at the same time, sometimes as the cherries are even ripening. Carabello Coffee wants coffee to be sustainable for everyone involved in the coffee supply chain, not just the final product. And what we see is that there has not been maybe enough technology offered to coffee farmers, and as that information and data grows, there's so many simple things that they can do to make it more sustainable. I love to see the attention to detail, that we're not just guessing. These demo plots have been amazing to see that they can track the tiniest little changes in the temperature and how spreading the plants out can impact roya. I mean, that makes me want to go back to other farmers I've seen and spoken to who are struggling. In Guatemala last week, they said to me, you know, 1,400 meters is like the new 1,200 meters. Like, we are unable to get the same quality of coffee that we used to be able to get. It's going down, even though we're doing all of the same things we used to do.
Yo siempre digo que detrás de una taza de café hay una historia, y es la historia de un grupo de personas que se esmeran por hacer algo bueno y llevarlo a un mercado que sea justo, en donde toda la cadena de valor de café tenga realmente eso, un valor agregado para uno, para sus empleados, para el medio ambiente, todo algo muy integral.
It's exciting to see how science as well as philanthropy can work together so that, you know, hopefully in the future this is a sustainable lifestyle for people rather than such a struggle. By not just giving handouts, but instead equipping them to have a long, sustainable future. I love that idea.
Karina, is that a way where the future could go? Coffee farmers, industry, working close together, having a closer tie? Is it something that you see happens or what you would like to see more?
Yes. We know that climate change are affecting just not the farmers, the coffee farmers. It's all the farmers. Whatever crop they grow. But like in the video they say, with simple things, we can make a difference. Maybe cover the soil, the land, the soil. Maybe you know how to know to the temperature. But in the same way, in the video they say we need technology, more technology. And we can look for that, for projects that offer us that. And we never can say, no, I don't want this project. No, I don't want to learn. Because we have to learn. Climate change are right now feeling people really bad, really sad, because we are losing our coffee production. Right now, farmers, they don't know if it wanna rain, or probably we are looking for rain, If the rain came, we go to the fields and start fertilizing. But after 1 day, 2 days, no more rain. What happened? The fertilizer doesn't work like that. Or maybe we had a lot of rain, or probably we had less rain. We don't know right now at this point. And climate change affects the coffee production, yes. The field, yes. But affect the family in different ways. Affect family, affect the forest, everything. But we need to work really hard at this point. This is really important for every single family in different countries.
Thank you. I would like to travel to Brazil quickly. Max, our technical director, who came today, you still can speak, or? So farm sizes in Brazil, also on the family farms, are significantly bigger than the small-scale farmers in Uganda or Honduras, right? Yeah. So maybe you can give us just a very short overview on how does family transition works there, and how does the young people see it on this sizes of farms, with all the effects we saw here now. Actually on Friday, there will be the release of this climate catalog together with the country profiles, where you also will be on the panel on Friday morning during World of Coffee to do some advertising. I think 11 a.m. is right. Climate hazard is a lecture call, and the catalog for Brazil shows that the suitable land is declining significantly. So how do families in Brazil see the whole issue?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm sorry for the Brazilian people that I am Ecuadorian, working in Brazil for 7 years, but maybe I can do a very short analysis about the situation there. Well, Brazil is a country very big. It's the first producer of coffee. More or less 85% of the families are living in the cities, and just 15% in the rural areas. In the last 10 years, we decreased more than 10% of the farms. We conserve the same size of area for agriculture, but we have less farmers. So this is a result of the migration of the people from the rural area to the cities. In terms of the coffee, I think that the problem that you are commenting here are very similar. Of course, the context is different, but talks about the youth, the transition, or the climate change is similar in all the countries. In Brazil, we are supporting more or less 6,000 farmers working in Minas Gerais. And they have more or less 3 hectares under coffee. And yeah, the farmers depend a lot of the coffee. Most of the families depend about the 50%, like the first income of coffee. So talk about the diversification of the people of Uganda and Brazil is very difficult. They produce coffee and go to the stores to buy the fruit. So maybe they have some vegetables or fruits, but the rest of the main crops they sold. I think that we have a good perspective for the future. The average of the farmers that we are supporting is 46 years old of the farmers. Is much better than the Uganda, for example, because there is like 58 years old. So we have a group of young people producing coffee, but of course I think that we need to create new perspective for the future. I think that some problems that we have right now, for example, I think that maybe we can have technologies or we can have land, but the market situation, I think that concerns all the farmers, and of course we need to create new ways to add value and also to have a new perspective for the future for these people.
Do you have an idea how to add the value? You said we have to add value.
Well, Brazil for many years, the strategy of Brazil to keep this first producer was, of course, develop technologies. And I think that Brazil right now have more than 100 varieties, for example. Most of the new varieties have tolerance to roast, for example, to roya, and other technologies. And I think that this is a good strategy. But now, Brazil needs to improve the quality. I think that the participation of my colleagues here in Brazil, for example, is come here not just to say, okay, Brazil produces a lot of coffee, but Brazil is producing a good coffee. Okay, so I think that this is a new strategy. Maybe it's a way to add value and also to recognize the effort of the youth people in terms of improve the quality. I think that when you go to the farms in Brazil, you start to see the African table, for example, that 5 years ago was impossible. But now it's very easy, it's very common. I think that the big effort to improve the quality, like strategy to add value, is coming from the youth.
Thank you very much for putting the circle back to youth. So we are coming again and again to young farmers, to the next generation. And yeah, I actually would like to come to an end of our little dialogue here. You are still invited to stay with us. We leave some time open and space for personal dialogue, networking, and so on. We still have some finger food and drinks for you. But some final questions. Christopher, when you saw the videos from Honduras, what was different for you in what you saw on the coffee fields?
There are some differences, but almost we are focusing on one. In Uganda, you have seen people crying over water. We have few, if you go to collect water comes very little. Administration, whatever, equipments are not available. Then farmers are talking about land and whatever. So I think with the Honduras, for us we intercrop. And I have been hearing people talking about price fluctuation, that's a problem. But if you want to reduce the unit cost of production, you have coffee, you intercrop with matoke, you sell matoke, you eat matoke. Even if the price goes down, you can be affected, but not so much like somebody who's depending on coffee. That's the difference.
Is intercropping an option that you use in Honduras, or that could be an option in the way you are growing coffee?
I think in Honduras, most of the farmers, we grow coffee. Use coffee. We grow use some colors, maybe beans, but we don't see like a business. We are focusing coffee, but right now we had to start to diversify. Because it's a good point to make maybe money, or maybe we cannot go to the store and buy the food. Maybe we want to have for the family the food. That's a better way. We have to diversify, but we cannot die with the coffee. We cannot lose the coffee. We have to have that point, a way to grow. Okay, I have coffee, but I have a banana. Two different crops, they are giving me money. But use one crop, and this, I can say, in this kind of situation that we have right now with coffee, I think it's really hard to survive use with coffee. It's really, really hard right now. Because it's only the price that are affecting us. We saw at the videos. It's climate change affecting us. What happened with climate change? We are losing water, pests and diseases are coming, maybe new ones, we don't know. Maybe we lost that coffee plantation in 2012, and we start again in Honduras, but probably right now we have to figure out another way because some pests and diseases are coming. And another thing happening with this situation is immigration. Most of the people want to go to another country to look for a better life, but we are looking for a new generation, and probably if we don't do something, I can say probably quickly, this new generation gonna work. Some farmers are using the coffee farm to get money and go to another country. People are using kids like a passport to go, but it's not a way right now.
Now we take to circle back to the title of our evening, the future of coffee growing communities, perspective from the youth. So what is your perspective for a viable future of a coffee growing community? I know you could talk for 1 hour now, but maybe, yeah, if you break it down to a brief final statement, what would you, from your perspective, say is the perspective from young people for the future of coffee growing communities?
To be in organizations, that's one point for the future. To be part of organizations is a good point. To learn new things and qualify. We cannot lose that. I think because we got so much from coffee and we cannot die right now. We have to see the problems like solutions. How? Working together. Just not alone like the farmers. We have to work together with the industry outside my country. We can work together, okay, like the farmers, like organizations, cooperatives, but at the same time, with the people who buy our coffee. We have to bring them quality. And how are we going to do that? Work together. Because that's the future. Work together. Industry, farmers, family, community, and country. Everybody together. In whatever crop that we have. Coffee, maybe corn, because some people are in the oil industry, but the point is together.
Okay, thank you very much. Christopher, as from you, like a brief final statement, what do you think is the perspective of youth for a future of a coffee community?
Thank you very much. There are many things that we can go through. In Uganda, the best thing we can do is remain global. 2, insurance must come in. Because some problems can be avoided, others cannot be what? So insurance is very, very important. Because this year, we are expecting rainfall in March. We received rainfall in April. So if you are expecting to harvest 100 bags, you are harvesting 70. So we need insurance. 3, we are supposed to work together. Right from the ground, from the farmer, traders, exporters, and consumer. Because if one goes away, the whole system will be off. So we need one another in this system. That's the best way to achieve what we want. Because farmers, traders, exporters, consumers, we are aiming at one goal. That's what I can say.
Thank you very much. Yes, a lot of information, a lot of perspectives. I'm really impressed. Thank you very much for being with us here today. Before I would like to ask you, Madam Ambassador, to have some final words, I just want to say, yes, I also have some. No, I see your thoughts are also of information. Just some technical things. When you leave, there is a lot of information about the work Neumann Foundation is doing. I invite you to take it home. You will also find a small bowl. So if you want to be subscribed to our newsletter, it is semi-GDPR compliant, but if you throw your business card into that bowl, we will add it to our newsletter and we will take it as your acceptance. Please stay with us now. We have enough finger food left for you. We have enough drinks. Please stay with us. Exchange. I think it's a really great opportunity that we have 2 farmers here. We have Jan here. We have Max from Brazil. Now his chair is empty. We have other farmers. We have Janka, our program manager youth. We have Stina, our program manager climate here. So please get in dialogue. Continue to talk. If you have questions, I hope all of you got some inspiration, some ideas, and will not go home with this feeling, oh, just another conference about coffee growing. That would be really a pleasure if you take that home. All of you have this green card. If you're attending the World of Coffee tomorrow, I really invite you and I recommend you to attend this panel. Karina and Christopher will be on the panel together with Sarah Marocchi as a moderator and Catherine Löfberg from the Roastery Löfberg in Sweden and Björn Silverlo, who's managing director of the Neumann Group, to discuss a bit deeper into the equality within the value chain. So not so much about the perspective of youth as we did today, but really in daily business. And this is also one of the reasons why they're here, that we say, okay, we need to have a farmer in these dialogues. Now we're going to all these workshops and conferences and always the traders again. Yes, please.
Hello, my name is Nelson Pavlovra. I'm a coffee farmer also. And I just want to add something like...
Where are you from, sorry?
Honduras also. I agree with all what they say, but I just want to add something that probably we are missing and see a little bit further where the change start. Because I'm a coffee farmer, but I don't harvest all the coffee because I can't, you know? So sometimes we have to remember there are kids there in the mountains. And like, we have to teach them, like, in my case I say that don't kill animals, don't put the trash in all the farm, you know? And sometimes we pay, the buyers pay like $5, $100 a pound. But we don't know what the farmers do with that money, you know? And I have seen so many farmers, like they say, yeah, I'm the one in the Cup of Excellence. But he had a new car, he had better house, but okay, for what? For him, you know? So we are missing that, and I don't know, probably most of us haven't to harvest, and know how hard is put a bag of 100 pounds in your bag. And sometimes the mothers take the kids, and you tell them like, don't take the kids. No, because we need to cut more coffee, because we're gonna have more money. So at the same time, you are fighting like, what should I do? You know? So actually, I'm just by e-cafe team also, and I'm trying to develop a brand called Rice's Coffee. And Rice's means smile, because I haven't sold my coffee this year out of Honduras. I sold it in Honduras because I couldn't wait. But that's what I'm trying to do. Like maybe if I don't have intermediaries too much, I can also help even more, you know, kids. Like you can show them to plants, even more plants, because what is changing the climate? Because if you see in some part of Honduras, they are burning to plant corn. And they cut the trees around the creeks or around the rivers. So if you teach them and try to cut that chain that they learn since they are kids, or if you see an animal, eat it in the mountains. Or if you see a tree, cut it, because they need wood to cook. So I think it's important to know that. And also I'm trying to develop a new product. I brought some coffee flower, coffee blossom tea, because I experimented 2 years for that. So I just want to add that, probably we don't have to forget that. And you can get a good commercial coffee also. Like I just met Michel this year, and he told me he sells a good commercial coffee, because you have to, if he cut, like as a friend, he just stopped to filter coffee and say, okay, I just want quality. He stopped giving work to the people in the mountains, so they don't have work jobs, you know?
Yeah.
Also that.
Thank you very much for the comment, and I think you said something very important, that is education, and education not only with agricultural practices, it of course also leaves the farm, and it's about many other things, which is very important. Thank you very much. So again, please stay with us. We have time to share. Karina and Christopher will also be available for your questions. If I might invite you, Madam Ambassador, to...
I will try to be really brief. I have many thoughts and many ideas after sharing discussion with you. It was a pleasure. Thank you very much for having us here and making this happen. To me, it's really an honor, and I am really proud of having you here, of meeting Vilma, and I Aida, and meeting so many of you. I've been here, as I said, for only 1 year, and I am at your service. So please feel free to contact me and reach me whenever you need something. I am just trying to make more bonds and more connections also. The job that you are doing is really great, and this is what we need in the country. And as Karina has said, I know that my people wants to stay in our country. So please help us in delivering this message to the world. We are willing to bring more opportunities, more jobs, more hope for you young people and brave women that we have in our fields and inside our country. And this is why I am here, and I am committed to my people, to my beloved people. Really, I am committed to you guys. So thank you very much. It was a pleasure. And please join us to our booth, Honduras booth. It's, I don't remember right now the number, but Carla from Nika said she can help me with this, and I'm so sorry. I was sorry about it. But this is behind a cup of coffee. There's a story. There's so many people, so many kids, so many. It's our culture. It's part of our